Hi, it took me a long time to identify as a lesbian, and longer still to act on it. I was a happy tomboy as a child, and then shy and withdrawn as a teenager. I didn't feel I fitted in. I was always close emotionally to other girls and women, but thought nothing of it. I conformed to society's expectations, going out with boys, though somewhat half-heartedly. Looking back at an early diary, I see my first boyfriend at 16 told me that his friend thought I was a lesbian, but I dismissed this as rubbish and thought he was just resentful because I wouldn't sleep with him. I remembered nothing of this, as I had suppressed my true self so much. It wasn't until I was 26 that I fell in love with a close friend and realized it was more than friendship. She was straight, so nothing came of it apart from a load of anguish. I was isolated and too afraid of friends' and colleagues' reactions to come out. And then a friend at work suggested I have a tarot done. So I went along, just to see what it was like, not expecting very much. And it was amazing. It really changed my life. The cards that came up, I can't remember them exactly, but I think there was a woman with a sword cutting off the head of someone. And apparently that was a sign I was going to cut off the heads of my life before me and go on to something else. I think there was one that said I'd been living a lie up to then. Another was a magus or something. I think it was a driving force, and I'd have a driving force and energy to go forward and change my life. And the person doing the tarot didn't have a clue, said, I don't know what this is referring to at all. But I knew, and so it gave me the courage to start to come out to people, like I told a close, straight friend of mine. And she said, Oh, right, I knew that anyway, but why don't you go out? Next time I meet you, I expect you to have been out on the scene, met some people, and started doing things. So I rang Gay Helpline and went out to Gay is the word discussion group in North London, and that was a group of women sitting around the floor amongst the bookshelves, and women of all ages. All of us were quite nervous, but then once we got talking about things that mattered to us, like coming out, family, things that were important to us, and we found that we'd got a lot in common, and it was really inspiring. After that, we went on to a nearby pub or club, I can't remember which it was, and it was just amazing seeing all the women there so exuberantly dancing, either on their own or else clinging to each other. And it was, something quite special. I felt energized, excited, free, but also relaxed and at home. There were no positive role models of lesbians in my childhood, teenage years, or even at university, or I wasn't aware enough of myself to search them out. I conformed to society, going out as my friends did with boys and men. I realized something was missing, but not what. After I'd finally come out and met friends and partners on the scene, I realized how important it was to raise awareness of issues affecting LGBT. T wasn't added until later. People. At work, I joined national LGBT groups in the voluntary sector and national AGMs. We tell our stories and stress how important it was for LGBT staff and clients to be treated with respect and without discrimination. A common response was, Oh, we don't have any of those in our area. I wrote a book on my coming out story, joined a lesbian writing group, and had a book of short stories on lesbian life published, written jointly with 4 others. From my own experience, I know how important it is to find other LGBT people and support each other. Since retirement, I've joined a local LGBT charity, Rainbow Alliance, and taken part in raising awareness at partnership meetings with the council, health, and other voluntary groups. Hopefully, this will help some care workers not to make assumptions about a person's sexuality and be proactive in encouraging LGBT people to talk about their concerns rather than the workers expecting LGBT people to come out when they could be fearful of the reaction. Without this awareness, several elderly, vulnerable people I know are forced back into the closet, hiding all signs of their gay life when the carer comes round. I've also been involved in welcoming new people to the many social groups provided, letting them know there's somewhere they can come, be themselves, find a home. I believe it's important we can all celebrate our identity, not be afraid or isolated. Come together and find a home.